If you're like me and you're a massive fan of all things survival gaming, make sure you come and join the Survival Gaming Discord. You'll find a link to it in the description below. Come here, chat about survival games, find some new friends to play those survival games with, or you've just come across a brand new survival game that you think others need to know about. In short, it's the one Discord you want to be part of for all things survival gaming. So you guys loved the last video I did like this, and I'm pretty sure I asked for something like 50 likes and I'd make another one. Well, that video now has over 1,500 likes, and I didn't expect it, but because I'm a man of my word, and for reaching over 50 likes, here is 5 of the most exciting survival games for the end of 2021 and pretty much the beginning of 2022. So like the first one, these games are in no particular order, so nothing like best to worst or most exciting to least exciting, just 5 of the most exciting games, or at least in my opinion 5 of the most exciting survival games for 2021 and 2022. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So first up, I've already covered this game extensively on the channel, and that is The Day Before. I feel like everyone that's part of the survival gaming community will have heard of this one. It's the one that looks a mix of a few games, mainly The Division and The Last of Us. The Day Before is an open world MMO survival set in a deadly post-pandemic America overrun by flesh-hungry infected and survivors killing each other for food, weapons and cars. You wake up alone in a world you no longer remember, setting out to find answers and resources to survive. Okay, this game looks like the ultimate third-person survival game, and some of the gameplay we've seen, I guess you can call it gameplay, does look very promising and seems to tick all of the boxes for survival fans. We're talking realistic weapons, multiple vehicles, a beautiful and large open world with safe zones, and of course, one of the most important things, multiplayer. I'm trying not to get too excited by this because it just sounds too good to be true, and it was due to release on Steam in Q2 of 2021, but that seems to have now changed with no news on when it will release. But they were teasing something big on their social medias, which just turned out to be this. They were releasing like part of this picture every 12 hours. But yeah, this is what they released, and I guess we're going to have to wait until then to see more of it. Obviously, I will cover that on this channel, so if you want to know more about The Day Before, then do stick around. Now, this game is only set to come out on PC, but there was talk of current gen or next gen. I still don't know which is which, but they are focusing on PC, and hopefully they'll be able to bring this game to consoles later down the line. But The Day Before is definitely a game I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. So next up is a sequel to a survival game that got a lot of praise, and it's still played quite a lot. That game was The Forest, and its sequel is called Sons of the Forest, and it's still slated for 2021 release. And this was announced in 2019 with a trailer, and then nothing until the end of 2020 when a second trailer dropped, I believe on Christmas Eve, a weird date to drop a trailer. Sons of the Forest is going to be a direct sequel to the first game. Without seeing much gameplay, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of improvements on the first game, and that includes improvements to the enemy AI, crafting, building, digging, which I believe is completely new traps, lethal and non-lethal weapons, solar-powered utilities, and a whole lot more. On top of all of that, there's also going to be a new crafting tool, a 3D printer. And you can use this 3D printer to craft items in different colors depending on the resins you have. This upcoming horror survival game gives me the chills, but in a good way. I can't wait to see more from it, and hopefully it's still on course for that 2021 release so we can jump into it at the end of this year. We saw a really nice trailer very recently actually for Stalker 2, and it only increased my excitement for this addition to the Stalker franchise. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is releasing on April the 28th, 2022. But if you're looking to play this on PlayStation, you'll be out of luck. Stalker 2 will be releasing on Xbox and PC at the same time without a release for the PlayStation platform. Discover the vast Chernobyl exclusion zone full of dangerous enemies, deadly anomalies, and powerful artifacts. Unveil your own epic story as you make your way to the heart of Chernobyl. Make your choices wisely, as they will determine your fate in the end. There is a lot to be excited about with this game, but the major thing for me is that this Stalker game will be the first in the series with a seamless open world. I quote, "For the first time in the series, the zone will be yours to explore as a post-apocalyptic open world, one of the biggest ones to date," says GSC Game World. So what exactly is Stalker about? Bounty hunters delve deep into the zone, driven by its treasures and mysteries. Some of them are running from the past, others are blinded by money, and some are obsessed with finding the truth behind all of the mysteries. Stalker 2 will feature a non-linear story, and according to GSC Game World, your choices will influence both short-term consequences and global outcomes. This game looks incredible, yet scary and eerie, and I get spooked pretty easily, but I'll be sure to play this when it drops. After all, who doesn't love exploring a post-apocalyptic Chernobyl? Alright, second to last on this list, and I'm about to talk about a game that I've spoken a lot about on this channel, and in fact it even has its own playlist. A small plug there for you to go and check out the playlist, and that game is ICARUS. ICARUS, unlike the usual survival games, is a session-based survival game where you have a certain amount of time, and this can range from short timers to long timers, to get a grip on the poisonous planet and get the rare and hard to obtain materials. And while you're doing all of that, you'll have to survive and manage with everything the planet throws at you, with harsh storms, bears, and a whole lot more trying to make your time hell. While you're not on the planet, you'll be spending your time in your space station. Here you'll be able to build more advanced tools, upgrade your station, build vehicles to help you traverse the planet quicker, and improve your spacesuit. And there's a whole lot more, but I just don't have time to go over it in this video. Although ICARUS will support 8-player co-op, you can also play solo, although it'll be slightly tougher if you do choose to play it solo. There is also a newly announced game mode that will give you a smaller chunk of land for you to almost treat as a practice zone. Here you'll have no timer to worry about, just you and whatever else you choose to do in your chunk of land. This game is packed full of progression trees, and quite frankly, like I've already mentioned, too much to talk about in this video, but I do recommend checking out the playlist on my channel for a lot more ICARUS content. ICARUS is due to release November 20th, 2022, with beta weekends leading up to launch, and those will start at the end of August. Last but not least, we're going to be talking about that game being announced way back in July 2020 at the Xbox conference, and that is State of Decay 3. Yes, another Xbox or Microsoft exclusive. Now, the reason this one is at 5th, although I said I was going to put them in no particular order, was because we've heard nothing since the announcement in 2020. But honestly, State of Decay games have such a huge fan base, and State of Decay 2 is still receiving improvements and constant updates. So I thought it would only be fair for me to include the third installment of State of Decay in this list. Going off of the reveal, State of Decay 3 will take us to a snowy environment that hasn't been seen in the previous games, and it will feature some pretty gross looking zombified wildlife that will only make survival that much more difficult across the American wilderness. State of Decay is a third-person zombie survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world. Gather resources, fight the undead, form and maintain a community, hoping to rebuild civilization. We have no release date or release window for when State of Decay 3 is going to arrive, but I bet this is going to be mid to late 2022. So yeah, there it is. 5 of my most anticipated survival games for the end of this year going into next year. After all, 2022 is only 4 months away. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know by either leaving a comment or by leaving a like rating. And if you feel like I've missed some survival games or there's some that you're really excited about, make sure you leave them in the comments as well. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye. Yeah.